Matt Steele, our game master for the evening.
Hi, I'm Matt Steele. I've been running games since somewhere in the late 1970s, and this game is called Our Little Town. It's a game of psychological horror in which 6 strangers meet under strange circumstances. Because we don't know, because the characters don't know each other, initially we're not going to reveal anything about them. They'll be revealed over the course of play. This game uses the Cypher system by Monte Cook Games with some slight modifications and tweaks. And let's begin. All the players were sent a little bit of background information, and at the end of each little bit of background is a scene that happened to their character just moments ago, so from that moment, we will turn to a very average guy, and you wake up after the moment that you were just having. Oddly, you seem to be stationary. You're lying on your back. And you're lying on bed. And when I say that, I mean, you're not under the covers. You seem to be lying on top of a bed. There's a pillow underneath your head. It's very dark. There's just a little bit of light seeping in from the left.
Immediately realizing that there's that disconnection of time, he jumps up from the bed and runs towards that source of light.
Okay. As you get toward that source of light, you see that it's rectangular. It's very, very thin lines of light. And fortunately, because you just woke up and you're in the dark, you realize that there is a small desk against a wall right underneath the square of light. So you manage to not stub your toe on the desk or the chair as you approach.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, this is here. And he's looking around, and in that moment after that sunburst of need to know, he stops and kind of like reckons actually what his surroundings are, tries to actually see what he's in. So take a moment to investigate that.
So looking to your right, you see a small chest of drawers. As you keep scanning around, you see a little short hallway that goes off into darkness. Turning back toward the bed behind you, you can vaguely see the bed and a couple of end tables on either side, and then just the other side of the far end table, there's a door.
All right. So I know that I carry I have certain equipment that I usually carry in terms of standard issue, sidearm.
Yes. You are in shirt sleeves, pants, socks, and no shoes. Your jacket seems to be missing. Your tie is missing. Your vest is gone.
Was this what I was wearing from my last memory? I mean, it would make sense.
Oh, you were wearing exactly what you would normally wear. You would have your jacket and your tie and your vest and your shoes.
Yeah. All right then. I'm actually going to investigate this rectangle, imagining it to be a window, hoping that it's a window and not some strange facsimile of a window.
Okay. It looks very much like a window. It's got a little bit of trim around it, and a little bit of light is coming around from the 2 sides of it. Very thin, like razor thin bits of light. Just slices of light.
Yes. Feeling around it, feeling along the edge. If it's something I can pull aside or prise open.
Yeah, it's a louvered blind, but when you push on it, it doesn't give in any way.
Now that's interesting. I take note. And take a moment to ponder as I then just press my eye up as close as I can into the aperture of light and see as much as I can see.
Yeah, you can tell that the blind is inset into a groove. So you can't even actually see around the blind. It's actually inset into a groove. And the light is bleeding around the edges of the groove.
But there's nothing I can see. It's just the reflection of light.
Yeah.
Then I make for the door. I want to just see how, I just want to see how far this illusion goes. And I continue to the front.
Sure. You make your way toward the door and open the door and walk in. It's very dark in here because that little bit of light coming from the window doesn't provide any amount of light. Just at first glance, you'd guess you're looking in a bathroom.
Oh, I see.
You can see a sink and maybe what looks like a clawfoot tub.
Sink, clawfoot tub. Okay. Yeah, are we, in terms of like comparing this against the typical decor of like probably noted down of various hotels and motels in America. Just like
it feels in that vein.
Yeah, very good. Okay, then I am searching for a way out, so I'm checking all the doors.
Okay, well, there's only that one door.
Oh, and it just goes into the bathroom.
Yeah, it goes into the bathroom.
I truly am trapped then.
Yeah. Well, there's a little dark hallway that you didn't go down.
Oh, a dark hallway. Okay, then. Yeah. That it would be my next.
Okay. You head toward the dark hallway.
Okay.
And we will move then to Fiona, whose character wakes up immediately after the incident that was described in your character background.
Oh my God. Is this Jesus?
It's dark where you are. It's very dark. It's darker than it was where you were, which was pretty dark already.
Do I still have my flashlight?
No. You're wearing your shirt and pants, and you're lying on top of a bed. Your boots are missing.
What? I got my flashlight and got my boots. I was just working. I literally was just working. And then I felt something, and where am I? I'm looking around. It's dark, but I see, what do I see anything?
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of look to your right, you can see an end table to your right, and a telephone sitting on this little end table. To your left, there's another end table with a lamp.
Okay, I gotta get off this bed. I'm super sweaty. I'm like stuck to the bed. I'm like sticky and sweaty. I don't know where my damn shoes are. I can curse, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm real sticky. I immediately reach over to try and turn the lamp on because it's dark in here. Does that lamp turn on?
Yeah, you reach over, you find a switch, the light comes on. Oh my God, that is bright.
Oh my fucking Christ. Okay. All right, I gotta use this phone. Yeah. Who am I gonna call?
Wake up. Okay, you reach over and grab the phone.
Does it work?
This is an old phone. It's one of those like old ones with the round dial with the numbers and holes.
I don't know how to use this. I don't know what's going on here.
There's no markings on it. Nothing that says room service.
I'd call a friend, but I'm really disoriented and I can't figure out how to use the phone, and I don't even know where to tell them I am. So I get up and I'm really sticky and I'm looking for some shoes and figuring out what I need to do.
Okay. So glancing around the room, immediately in front of you, you see a little chest of drawers. To the left, there's a desk and a little window above the desk that a blind seems to be down over. And to your right, you can see a door. And then kind of near where the dresser is, you see a little hallway going off to the right.
Do I go to the
at first glance, you're in a little cute hotel room. There's floral wallpaper. It looks sort of like vines with little flowers on it, and and plush carpeting.
Yeah, I don't trust this. Where's my weapon? Where's my?
It's not on you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna kill somebody. Okay. I think I gotta sneak. Before I look out the door, I gotta sneak over to the hallway, see what's down the hallway.
Okay. You get to the hallway, and the hallway's on the right side of the hallway. There's a little closet, a little sliding closet, and then another door. And the door has a little peephole in it.
Ooh, I want to look through that.
Okay. You walk over and you look out, and you can see out into a hallway, and you see the light from a light sconce on a wall across the hall.
No other people?
That's all you see. A little triangle of light coming down from this light sconce.
Is it okay? Okay. Is there another peephole in the other door? That little door that I didn't go to? Is there a peephole in that door?
Not that you noticed.
I think I'm gonna go back to the other door.
All right. You head toward that other door, and as you do, we will move over to Lisa's character. Lisa, your character wakes up after the incident described in your character background. It's dark. Tiny slivers of light in the distance provide the only light across the bed that you're lying on.
Screaming. There was screaming. What the screaming? There was screaming. Who was screaming? But
and all you hear is your own voice.
There's no more. There was screaming. I heard there was screaming, and what am I wearing? What am I wearing?
You are wearing you're wearing a shirt and slacks and socked feet. You're lying on bed in some room.
How did I lose my shoes? Did they come up? I was floating. No, I was flying, or there was screaming and there was flying, and now I'm here, and it's dark. And I sit up on the side of the bed, sitting up on the side of the bed, and my feet on the ground.
Do you swing to the right or the left?
Left. Sit to the left. Okay. Put my head in my hands, and got a terrible headache. Terrible headache. Is there aspirin?
To your left, you can see next to the bed a nightstand and a lamp, table lamp.
I reach out for the lamp, and it's got one of those chains on it. Pull the chain down, and
and wow, that is incredibly bright light. You've been asleep, and it's very dark in this room, and your pupils are wide open, and that light just comes blasting in at you.
I go to stand up, and my legs are really wonky. Can I stand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had rubbing my eyes and trying to adjust to the light, and I remember a light from before, but this is really different. And I hear a cat in the background, and sorry. And I start to take a step forward and another step pacing, starting to pace around the room. What am I seeing?
Okay. Well, you see that you're in a quaint little hotel room. Got plush carpeting. This interesting wallpaper with a floral pattern that sort of looks like vines growing up the wall. It's a very complex pattern even. It looks almost organic the way the wallpaper. It has these little yellow flowers. Really quaint. There's a tiny little desk and a chair. A couple of nightstands. One's got some sort of device on it that you're not entirely familiar with. And then the lamp on the other one. And just the other side of the bed, there's a door. And then there's a little hallway that leads off near a tiny dresser.
Looks like some dame decorated this place. Carpet sure does feel plush and nice on my feet. What's that on the nightstand? So I think I'll go and take a look, walk around the bed to the other nightstand and take a look at that device. What do I see?
And now that everyone has seen the room, here's kind of the layout so that everybody has an idea of what the room actually looks like. Is everyone seeing that?
Yes.
All right. So that is what the room looks like. That's the general layout of the thing. So you go where?
Go to investigate the device on the other nightstand that I don't recognize.
Okay. It's kind of rectangular. It has a curved shape on the top of it and a round disc with holes, and then there are numbers in the holes. And when you pick it up, there's a slight ringing noise, like there's a bell inside of it or something.
Ah, is there a handle? Pick it up and put it next to my ear?
Yeah, you pick it up. Yeah, it looks like maybe a device like that.
Put it up in my ear. What do I hear? Do I hear anything?
No, you don't hear anything.
I think I'll push one of the buttons.
Okay. Well, there aren't any buttons. There's a round disc with numbers and holes.
So I think I'll put my finger in the hole.
Okay.
I'm a guy.
All right. You spin that around, and you hear in the handset it goes click 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 click. And then
Hello?
silence.
Is anybody there? I shake the thing. Shake it.
Okay. It
Try
sort
another
of
hole.
jingles, you know, when you
Jingles,
shake,
yeah. I
when you
stick
shake
my
the
finger
base,
in
you
another
hear a
hole.
little. Okay.
There's more holes, right? Lots of holes.
Yep.
Okay.
There's 10 of them.
So I try another one.
Okay. Tick, 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 tick.
I flip it over.
Silence.
Okay. I flip the box over. Take a look at the bottom. Anything? Still
It
making
appears
that
to be-
jingling
It
sound.
appears to be a solid piece of material, like Bakelite, sort of.
Yeah. I lose interest. Put it back down on the nightstand.
Okay.
Cross the room towards the hallway. Isn't there a hallway?
Yeah, there's a little tiny hallway.
Sure. Head to the hallway.
Okay. You come to that hallway. To your right, there's a closet, and immediately in front of you, there's a doorway with a little peephole in it.
Is there a door in front of the closet? Like, is there a closet door?
It's a sliding door. Two sliding doors.
Open the door. The
Okay.
sliding door. The closet door. See if anything's in the closet.
Mm-hmm. You slide open the door. You find in there your the rest of your suit and your tie hung over a hanger, and your hat and your shoes. They look freshly pressed. Well, not the shoes, of course.
Yeah, but they're shined. I never shine my shoes. Pretty lazy about that sort of thing. How'd they get so shined? How'd everything get so clean? Grab the shoes, hooked in my fingers, sling the coat over my shoulder, and head to the door. Wasn't there a door? Yeah.
There's a door right next to you, and we will cut away from that dashing move as you toss the coat over your shoulder. We will cut away to Devin's character, who wakes up in the dark after seeing what you just saw.
Everything's completely dark.
It's very, very dark. You can barely see anything.
How am I positioned physically?
You are lying on top of a bed. I mean, you realize you're lying. There's a pillow under your head, but you're not under sheets. You seem to be on top of a quilt.
In the darkness, in the darkness, can I focus on any sort of shapes, or is there any like source of like light coming from somewhere else?
There's light coming from your left. I'm sorry. There's light coming from your right a little bit. And if you look over in that direction, you can see two thin slits of light, and they're just barely illuminating some small piece of furniture against the wall.
Yeah, I think my like heart is racing, and I'm like looking for something to focus on, because I'm trying to do some like mindfulness tricks that I've learned about like centering oneself and trying to figure out if what I'm seeing is a vision, because I've seen things before and I'm trying to figure out what state I'm in. And I'm also wondering if like maybe I'm kind of over sativas, like the joint I smoked earlier. I don't know, there's something about it that it made something wonderful happen, but then also I'm getting kind of worried about they said it was supposed to be a creative high, but this is a little bit too creative.
Sure. Yeah. So you kind of get a little bit closer over to that piece of furniture, and you see it's a little desk.
I reach around my body, and do I have my cards on me?
No. You're wearing a t-shirt, pants, socks. You don't have anything in your pockets as you sort of pat around.
I try to see if there's any like lamps or light sources that I could like turn on or activate.
Okay. Looking back toward the bed, you can see a table lamp next to the bed on a little end table.
I go to turn it on.
Okay. It has a little pull chain. You turn it on, and it is incredibly painfully bright. You know, you've been asleep. You're in the dark. Your eyes are wide open, and the light comes crashing into you.
Yeah. I try to take a few deep breaths as I center myself, and like, what does the room look like once it is illuminated?
Well, once your eyes adjust, the room's kind of nice. It's a little quaint, old timey, maybe like bed and breakfast kind of place. Right? It's got this quilt, this sort of soft, downy looking quilt. It's really cool floral pattern wallpaper, and an old phone sitting on an end table on the other side, like an old antique desk and a little tiny antique dresser.
Is there a mirror?
Little tiny hallway. No, there's not a mirror in there.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, it strikes you a little odd as you're looking around. There's no art on the walls.
And you said the light seemed to be coming from like a window that was like curtained or something like that.
Well, there's these two thin slivers of light. It's positioned sort of at the height you would expect a window to be, but it was dark when you walked over there.
Yeah, I go to investigate it, and I like run my finger along the slit, and I think I'm just still trying to figure out, like, am I dreaming? Is this a vision?
Sure. So you run your finger down one edge, and you can feel the edge of the lattice on the blind. You kind of run your finger down. Oddly, something like this that you expect you could be able to pull up. There's no pull cord or little thing to twist or anything like that, and it doesn't move. Like these sorts of things tend to be sort of wobble around. It's like
Is there anything like
feels metallic actually?
Is there anything like ceramic or glass nearby?
No, there's this desk and a wooden desk and a wooden chair.
Okay.
And a little antique, a little 2-drawer dresser.
I check out one of the dresser drawers.
Okay, it's empty. You can also see. So now, standing at the dresser, you can see off to your left a little short hallway, and then there's a closet in that little hallway, and then a door with a peephole in it.
Okay. I do another like cursory look around the room and kind of notice that the hallway with the closet is kind of probably the more interesting thing to go check out. So I go check out.
And there's another door on the other side of the bed.
Okay, I go to check out the closet.
Okay, it's 2 panels that slide back and forth. And when you open the closet door, you see in there your scarf and your hat sitting on a little shelf there. And the sweater that you normally wear is hanging on a hanger in there. And your shoes are on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, I start to gather all my belongings. Is like my cell phone and my like cards, and does it have all my belongings?
No. Just remainder of your clothes.
Okay. And I go to the peephole.
Okay. You look out of the peephole and you can see out into a hallway, and on the other side of the hallway you can see a triangular flash of light on the wall from a wall sconce on the other side.
And the door, does it seem like it's locked or is it open as I like test the knob?
You try the doorknob and it doesn't open, it doesn't turn. In fact, it doesn't move at all. Like you try and jiggle it, there's no jiggle, there's no clinking, there's no noise. It doesn't move at all.
I bang on the door.
Okay. And you pound on the door, and from there we will swing over to not Stan Lee. You wake up. It's dark where you are. You open your eyes. You can see a ceiling. You're muted there, Mr. Lee.
You don't tell me I open my eyes. I tell you I open my eyes.
That sounds good.
But seriously, before I open my eyes, like I'm just like laying there, and like as soon as I come to, I'm like, and then like I just take a huge like inhalation. What do I smell?
You don't smell much of anything, which is pretty odd. I mean, you're used to the smell of a lot of people around, and this feels very sterile.
Interesting.
Like you've been in some sterile rooms. I mean, there's not even a waft of cleaning chemical here. It's almost nothing.
Not having any like heavy the sweat of other people in the space. Like I just like kind of like it's almost like a sweetness on my tongue, just having nothing there. The umami of zero, and I'm just like, this is weird. And like I just like open my eyes and like I just like feel very heavy, and I just kind of scope and look around and check myself out.
The surface that you're laying on is very weird. It's very smushy. It doesn't feel very body contouring at all. And there's a big, like, puffy bunch of fabric that you were laying on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this big puff of stuff.
What the? And like I just like kind of like start to feel it
Okay.
around and like wiggle my toes
Mhm.
around, and then
Okay.
just do like, and I'm like, this is a weird one.
Yeah,
I've
you
had
feel
some
pretty
weird ones
good, other
before.
than
This
feeling
is
heavy.
a weird one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see a little light coming from your right side, kind of down near your.
How big is the pool of feels that I'm in? Like I like reach out.
Yeah, I mean, you reach out. You don't. You kind of bang into something on the right, and you can see in the dim light in here. There's a post with a round thing on top of it.
Ooh.
It looks. I mean, it looks sort of like a lamp.
And that's what's giving off the light.
Like a quaint old time. No, the light is coming from down, kind of near your feet, but off to the right. There's two thin slits of light coming in here that are just barely illuminating this space.
How does the
It's a pretty big space.
How does the light feel? Like is it a cold hospital light? Is it a warm natural light? Like
it's a warm, sort of comforting light.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, this is a weird one. All right. Let's. You've been in something like this before. You've been okay. No, you haven't been anything quite like this. This is kind of weird. And I used my right hand against the firm thing that I found, and I just like use that to navigate myself out towards, hopefully, the lip of this thing, towards the lamp-looking thing that I saw.
Okay. Well, the lamp thing's right next to what the bed that you're lying on.
I accidentally knock it over.
Okay. All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Clumsy. Craters and comets. I'm always so clumsy.
Yep. It hits the floor and bounces around, and hits a wall that's right nearby.
Ooh. Yeah, I try to find the lip of the container that I'm in.
Okay.
And
you start making a circuit of the space. You find up to the right, near where the light is, a desk. There's nothing inset into the desk. I mean, you'd expect there to be something inset in there so that you could work, a panel of some sort, but there isn't.
What's the desk made of?
I mean, this is probably the most amazing fake wood you have ever seen in your life.
I don't know if I've ever seen real wood.
Probably not.
How well crafted? Like I'm not an architectural genius.
You would guess that this is such a great replica of an antique that it's probably worth a small fortune all on its own.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, as is the little chair that goes with it.
Ooh, and that was my next question. There was a little chair. And the little chair is like also wooden, and they look like they're a matching set.
They look kind of mismatched, actually.
Interesting.
But wooden chair, wooden desk, they kind of go together.
I pick up the lamp and I try to take it over to the desk.
Okay, you take it over to the desk.
And I kind of like put it down, and like I feel the desk. Like I've never been close to something this nice, and like I kind of pick it up. Like, how heavy is it?
It's pretty heavy.
It's like this is weird. All right.
Yeah, I mean, you can move it, but picking it up is it's tough.
Yeah. I'm just like, I can like, it's not that I know about a door that didn't wiggle, but it's like, it's movable. It's moving.
Yeah. You pick it up, you can move it around.
Excellent. Yeah, so I then like, this is crazy, and I look around the rest of the room from that corner or that position.
Okay. Again, it's pretty dark, but you can see that there is a bed you're lying in. There's another on the other side of the bed. There's another little stand with some lumpy object on it. Can't quite tell what it is in the dark. Just beyond that, there's a door, and then to the right of that, there's a little short hallway and another door that you can just barely see. Significant in that door, though, is a little round point of light.
In my room, there is another door, like a John Malkovich door, that is a tiny door that I can barely see.
No, it's a regular sized door.
Okay.
Right? But in that door, there's a little round point of light.
Okay. And the other doors, they're both normal sized doors.
They are.
Okay, just checking. We're all okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I make my way over to the lumpy thing near where the lamp was, and I give it a closer inspection.
Okay. The lumpy thing that's on the other side of the bed?
Yes. Yeah, I make my way back across the room.
Okay.
What's the floor like? Is it carpeted? Is it?
It's soft and squishy.
It's not cold
a little
steel?
Uneven.
Interesting. Oh, and it's uneven.
A little bit.
Yeah, I leave a little bit too much water on my wooden floors, and they warp too. Don't tell my landlord. Yeah, but I am I wearing shoes currently?
No, barefoot.
Yeah, I kind of give them a John McClane, like, well, get your toes, wiggle your toes. Say it makes you relax. Yeah. Says it helps get the travel sickness, makes it go down. So like I just like do that as I walk over to the lumpy thing and give it the closer inspection.
Okay. It looks vaguely like a comm unit. Okay. There's a handset, but it's not very ergonomic.
I wave my hand over it.
Yeah, comms. Nothing happens. Yeah.
Comms.
Nothing happens. You see when you like come down close that there's a little round dial with holes in it, and there are numbers in each of the holes.
I press the whole circle.
Okay. There's a very light sort of ringing noise that seems to come from the inside.
Interesting.
And on that ding, we will swing over to Mark's character.
Oh, hello.
He wakes up in the dark.
Well, this is what he looks for, the bag that he was just getting. He was just grabbing his stuff at the time when he saw a flash of light.
Mm-hmm.
Is the stuff gone now?
But now it's very dark. You're lying on your back. You can feel a comfortable pillow under your head.
Oh, this is the big sleep. He's convinced that this is the afterlife or something. Well, this is very strange. Odd. He feels around for a bit.
Okay. You can feel that you're lying on a bed with a.
All right.
You feel a quilt. You're lying on top of it. To your right, you bump into a nightstand.
He'll check the nightstand, see if there's a lamp.
Okay, there is.
Yeah. Turn on the light.
Oh, that may have been a terrible mistake. That light is really, really bright. It's blinding. It hurts. Even through your closed eyes, it hurts.
Oh, well, that didn't hold up. Can I throw something over the light to make it a little less intense? Perhaps a sheet or pillowcase.
Yeah, you could. You could start wrestling around with the pillow and pull the pillow out of the pillowcase and toss that over the lamp.
Well, this is very odd.
Yeah, and pretty quickly then your eyes adjust, and you seem to be in a quaint little hotel room. And since,
this isn't my hotel.
Since everyone has seen it, this is what it looks like.
Well, he'll get up and search about a bit. This is very odd. So,
Okay.
check the drawers. Perhaps a Gideon's Bible might be
Okay.
in there.
If so, there's a drawer in the nightstand at the table, or in the nightstand that the lamp is on.
Yes, that would be where I'll start.
Yeah, so you open that up, and sure enough, there is a Gideon's Bible in there.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's familiar at least. I don't suppose you'd find one in the afterlife. After all, you've already found your way to the afterlife. What's the need? Well, he looks about. He's going to be, particular about it and make sure he, flattens out the bed so it's not too scuffed up and, not quite you can bounce a dime on it, but at least, he wants to keep it neat.
Okay.
Goes around to the dresser. He'll look to see, am I still wearing the clothes I was wearing?
Well, you're wearing your shirt and pants and socks, but your tie and jacket and vest seem to be missing.
Oh, I must have gotten a bit spifflicated and someone just dropped me here. This is odd. Yeah, he'll look in the closet and see if his clothes might be there.
Okay. They are. Your jacket is hanging there, and your tie is draped over over a hanger.
All right. Well, he'll note that and then survey the room a bit, check the dresser, see if there's anything of note.
Drawers are empty in the dresser.
Well, that would make sense.
And there's a little desk near a window, and there's a closed blind on the window.
Well,
and there's a door near the closet, and then you saw another door on the other side of the bed there.
I'll check out the window and see where I am.
Okay. There's a louvered blind covering the window.
Yeah, I'll pull the blinds up and have a look.
You reach to pull the blind up, and usually you can just sort of part them pretty easily, and it doesn't seem to part. In fact, it seems very solid. It doesn't move. It doesn't move about. And even more strange, it seems to be made of metal.
Metallic.
Yeah,
This
dark
is very
gray
odd.
metal.
Do I get a sense that this is not my period? Like I'm in a different time?
I don't
Very
know.
odd.
I mean, you get the sense that you're looking at a metal blind.
Metal
That's new.
blind. Yes, it's very odd.
Yeah. The rest of the room pretty much looks very familiar. It looks like a number of kinds of hotels you stayed in. It's it seems to be of decent quality. It's lovely floral wallpaper and comfortable carpeting. Decent but not amazing furniture.
Well, I'll look to the door, the one that I believe has a peephole.
Okay, it does.
And I will peek through that.
Okay. You see out into a hallway, and you can see a little triangle of light from an overhead wall sconce. And that's all you can see.
Well, I suppose I should get dressed before I wander outside. So he'll, fairly quickly get himself together so he looks proper. He doesn't want to go out just t-shirt on, for God's sake. And people would talk, and he'll try to open the door.
Okay. The doorknob does not turn.
Well, this is ridiculous. I try to turn it hard. I'm like not very strong, but I struggle with it.
It doesn't move, and you shake it back and forth, and in fact, the door itself doesn't move. It doesn't wiggle. It doesn't jiggle. It doesn't rattle.
This is very odd. I wonder if Hayden is behind this. Is this some sort of prank? And he begins to consider the man he was supposed to meet in Aurora, and he's very confused about what sort of trick this might be. Not familiar with the concept of an escape room. He's going to sort of try to figure out his way out of here. There's one more door, so he'll check that.
Okay. It leads into a well-appointed bathroom. There's a shaving kit sitting there, and a towel and a washcloth, a clawfoot tub, and a little tiny cabinet, and a basin with what looks like running water in it. Something you don't see everywhere.
Well, this is a fine mess. I will dash some water in my face and try to kind of recover. I imagine I might have had too much to drink, so perhaps this is a dream.
Okay.
I don't know.
You splash some water in your face and look up at the mirror with water running down your face, and pick up a towel to dry off your face, and we'll use that as a cutaway and camera.
Nice.
Back to a very average guy who, if I remember, we last saw tossing a jacket over his shoulder.
Oh, that wasn't me. I was running for the door. I didn't grab a jacket.
What's that?
I didn't grab a jacket.
Oh, you didn't have a jacket. Sorry.
No, I went straight for the door.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to the door with the peephole in it?
Yes, I am.
Okay. There you are.
So, because I already know that I'm going through that door, I don't even bother with the peephole. I try for the knob.
Okay. Yeah. You grab the knob. To your surprise, it doesn't turn.
And now that is troubling. Back away from the door, realize that's not going to budge no matter how hard I whack. And I say out loud, and I imagine if I were to try to hit it with a chair, that would be as equally ineffective. Looking around.
Okay, looking around.
And rather sedately kind of walk back to the bed and kind of like take stock of the room once more and note the nightstand. And yeah, I'm going to head towards inspect the nightstand. And
Fiona, where is your character? Where did we last leave?
My character just finished looking through the peephole. I saw the light flicker, and now I'm going to check out the other door across the room, which I assume is the bathroom.
Okay. You think as you're pulling your head back away from the door that two from the room behind you, perhaps you very vaguely hear someone's voice. A male voice.
Hello? Is there someone there?
Chris, as you move away from the door, you very vaguely hear a woman's voice calling out hello from perhaps it's the other side of the wall that you're looking at.
I immediately sort of like, ignoring the nightstand, I sort of run up to the wall and I mean like tap, 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 hello? Tap, 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 tap.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do like a 1, 2, 3 to make sure you're kind of like a sane person. We communicate.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Lisa, where is your character?
At the door with the jacket slung over my shoulder.
Yes. Oh, there's the jacket.
Shoes in hand.
There it is.
Hat on.
Okay. You hear from back in your room somewhere a very light tapping. Tap, tap, tap.
I'm conflicted. I'm standing at the door. It's gonna go for the peephole. Gonna go for the handle. Tapping. That's interesting. Turn around, saunter across the room. I think I'll check that tapping out. What the hell is that? I start to follow along the walls.
Okay. You don't hear it immediately.
So I walk walk the edges of the room slowly.
Okay. You start walking your way around the room. Meanwhile, back in Average Guy's room, you hear this tapping on the wall. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I return that. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Boom! I ain't alone. All right. Okay.
You hear very vaguely through the wall a woman say, "Hey, I ain't alone." All right.
Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Okay. Hello. You just kind of I just found myself here. And I can't get out.
What do you see?
I'm in a hotel room, and I don't know how it just looks like a hotel room. Except the door doesn't work.
Are you alone?
Yeah.
Fiona, you're getting you're pretty close to the wall, right? You're getting closer and closer to the wall, and you notice, being really close, something odd about one of the flowers, which is that in the center of the flower, rather than a little pistil or stamen, there's what looks like a human eye.
The fuck? This is in the wallpaper?
Yeah, in the wallpaper.
I touch it.
It blinks.
Oh my God!
Make a shock check. It's our first roll of the game. So a shock check is an intellect defense roll. So it's based on the level of the shock that you're encountering. Finding a human eye embedded into wallpaper is about a level 3 shock. So that means you need to roll on a d20 a 9 or higher. Because it's an intellect test, if you want to spend effort to make it easier, you would spend 3 points out of intellect. Or you can just roll a d20 and see what happens. But you need a 9 or higher on a d20 to succeed.
I just rolled a 9.
Yay!
All right.
Flat. So I'm in shock. I'm like, okay.
You passed the shock test. What you do is up to you.
All right.
But meanwhile,
great.
In Lisa's room, we hear what from your character? Fiona, there's some sort of reaction, right?
I'm walking the perimeter of the room, and
Right.
There was some tapping, and then the tapping, I didn't hear it again.
Yeah, and then you vaguely hear a woman's voice from coming through the wall behind the bed.
I drop my shoes.
Okay.
Set down my coat. Walk over to the bed and crawl up on it on my knees and put my ear to the wall. There's some skirt. I hear a dame talking. I listen some more.
Mm-hmm. The pitch of her voice goes up and down. You can't really understand what she's saying. She seems excited.
This is twisted.
And then there's a weird, gasping sound.
Gasp. I'm not sure about this. This seems really bizarre. So I raise my hand to the wall and give a tap myself.
Okay.
Hello? Hey, lady.
Fiona, from behind you on the other wall, you hear a tap.
There's another person? Okay, so
over near the dresser.
Let me just visualize myself. So I'm in between the bathroom and the hallway by the dresser, the wall to my. Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Oop. Yes. So the tapping is coming from near the head of the bed.
And the tapping with the male that I was speaking with earlier that was here, where was he?
No, that's where that's coming from. That voice and the tapping is over near
Behind the bed.
Behind the bed. The tapping you hear now is over by the dresser on the opposite side of the room.
Okay. So I'm just gonna do another quick tap by the bed to make sure homie's still there.
Tap.
Great, awesome. Okay, and now I'm gonna walk over to the dresser and do a.
Okay, Lisa, you hear a wooden sort of thunking noise on the other side of the wall.
I respond with thunk thunk.
All right, we're not alone here, guys. There's at least 3 of us.
And on that note, we transition over to Devin. Where was your character when last we left?
I was pounding on the door.
Yes, pounding on the door. Thump, 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 which reminds me to ask not Stan Lee where his character is at the moment. She was sort of exploring the room, right?
I'm in the that little walkway in between the lamp, the bed, the lamp, and the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a thumping noise coming from behind you through the wall.
I make a quick turnaround that I would do if I didn't have sciatica, but imagine that's what happened right there. Use your imagination.
All right, you spin around,
and it's coming from, for me, the dresser wall.
No, it's coming from the wall behind the comm unit. So you were actually like kind of leaning over the comm unit. Yeah, you're at it, and so kind of from the other side of the wall, you look up and it's coming from the other side of the wall there.
Interesting. Like I pick up the comm unit and like it's got a little bit of heft to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I just like start banging it against the wall.
Okay. So a couple of things here really quickly. One, the Devin, to your you hear some pounding on the wall to your right, and in your room, not Stanley's room, when you pound on the wallpaper spatters.
Ooh.
And
gives?
No, there is a green and red smear, and it looks like green and red blood start running down the wall. Make a shock check.
So this is a weird one.
It's a level 2 shock because you're just seeing some liquid run down the wall. You weren't really expecting that. So you would need a 6 or higher on a D20 to succeed.
An 11.
11, nice. So yes, this is a weird one, but apparently there's fluids actually in the print of itself of the wallpaper.
And I'm like, this is crazy. What color is the wallpaper? Is it the same color?
It's a cream color. In the background of it is cream, but it has this
super
plant
contrasty.
motif. Well, it has a plant
motif.
motif, right? It looks like there are vines growing up with little flowers on them.
This is a weird one. I put the comm unit back on the pedestal, and I sit back down on the super squishy thing.
Devin, does your character do anything in response to the pounding on the wall that you hear next to you?
I say, hey, is there somebody there?
Yeah, very dimly. You can hear that voice through the wall.
I tie my
male
hair
voice.
up. I tie my hair up and put it in a bun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is something. And I go and I pick up the comm unit and I pick up the lamp also, and I just start like I get on the super soft squishy thing, and like I'm just like a kid that's got their own room at Disneyland. Their parents are like, "No, you get your own." And he's like, "Ha ha! I'm jumping all over this shit," and I'm just like smearing the wall.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Devin, from the other side of the room, you hear this cacophony of noise pounding on the wall. The pounding sound is moving around back and forth. Meanwhile, in Mark's room, where were you when we last left off? Oh, you were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So through the bathroom wall, you hear some tapping sounds, as if somebody's pounding on something, but they seem far away. But it's coming through the wall of the bathroom, near the cabinet by the clawfoot tub.
Wow. Try to sort of triangulate the location of where the noise might be coming from.
Okay.
See what I can ascertain.
As you're listening, it seems to be coming more from the main room instead of the bathroom.
I'll move into the main room and try to maybe room service is here.
Okay. You come to the main room, and the noise that you hear is coming through the wall behind the bed.
Odd. Well, I'll try to pull the bed back a little bit.
Okay. You pull the bed away from the wall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it move, or does nothing move in this place?
You slide it. It's a little heavy, but you're able to slide it across.
Yeah, just shift it a little bit.
You immediately notice something odd. As you move the bed away, the pattern, the wallpaper pattern, stops just behind the bed. Like there's almost like there's a shadow of the bed where the pattern of the wallpaper doesn't exist.
I appear to be in some sort of dollhouse. What is this? This is ridiculous. No one told me about this. And he starts to imagine, like, is he in purgatory? He's running through all the possible religious afterlives that he's, investigated and considered. And well, this has gotta be a trick. He'll try to get his ear up to the wall and maybe knock back if he hears anything, and just do a bit of yes, hello, okay. This is all very funny now, but can I go now? I do have other business.
Okay. You put your ear up to the wall, and when you do, you put it kind of near one of these flowers, and so you're looking along the wall, and you can see that the wallpaper it's not a pattern that's printed on it. It's actually raised, right? Like you can get wallpaper that has velvet, right?
Yeah.
Like raised velvet, and so the pattern is raised slightly, and the little flower, the center of the flower that you're looking at, has an eye that actually you can actually see the curvature of the eye because you're right up against the wall.
I jump back a bit in shock. What the hell?
Okay.
This is very, and I kind of like look to grab something, like a bit taken aback.
Okay. All right. There's the phone sort of on the nightstand right there.
I'll grab the phone and wield it like an epee.
Okay. Okay.
And then go toward the eye and sort of poke at it, maybe.
Okay. Well, you go to the eye, and then you notice that around it, right, there are other flowers, right? And in the center of each of those flowers is an eye.
Oh, God. Is there some chance I could cover it with a blanket? And just like...
Well, it's the wall.
The whole damn wall. Is the whole wall covered in eyes?
So you start walking along looking at it, and there's just eyes and eyes. And then one of them blinks.
Hello? What is this?
Make a shock check.
All right. Is that
Difficulty
intellect?
2. It's an
Okay.
intellect defense roll. Intellect.
All
level
right. So
2.
it just.
Need
All right.
6
So
or
a
higher to
6.
succeed.
All right. I'm not going to use an edge. I don't think I need it for this, but we'll see. I got a 17.
17.
So I've
All
seen
right,
this
excellent.
before. I've read about this. Clearly, this is yes.
Some kind
All
of trick,
see-
right?
Yes. Perhaps a spider god of some sort, a Nancy. Or maybe, multi-eyed, Yinagu. No, Dublex. He goes through a list of possible creatures that this might be, and he's fascinated, and he starts looking back at the eyes like he might be looking at someone he's interested in talking to, or perhaps
Okay.
a audience full of students.
Okay, and they're clearly tracking with you as you pace back and forth, naming off the names of ancient gods.
And they don't seem to respond. Well, hello. You're all just. Are you here studying me? Am I just in a bell jar? Is this some kind of odd experiment? Who is that behind there? And he's still not quite convinced that this is unearthly or anything.
Okay. Meanwhile, at the other door. 1 second. All right, there. Aha. AirPod failure. All right, so the meanwhile, on the other side of the room, where you went to initially investigate that, Devin, what are you doing? Let's see.
I think
when you hear this weird pounding and scraping on the door.
I'm starting to get very paranoid. You said there's a bathroom attached to the room?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I go to the bathroom. Is there a mirror in the bathroom?
There is. To give you a quick review, the room looks like that.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a sink you see kind of to the upper right of the bathroom, and a big clawfoot tub, and yeah, there's a mirror.
So I look very intently into the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Does everything seem kind of normal?
Yes.
Okay. I run back to the lamp and turn it off.
Okay.
And then I go back into the bathroom and look in the mirror again.
Okay. Well, it's very dark in here now. The lamp really is the strongest source of light. It's really, really dark in here. You did see as you were going in and out that there's a light switch near the door.
Okay. Yeah, I turned it on. I'm just kind of experimenting, especially based off of the context of what I experienced before I ended up here.
Right. And it's an old-timey light switch. It's not an up and down sort of switch. It's 2 buttons, one above the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I turn the light back on.
Okay.
I go to check out the other door, the one that was on the other side of the bed, was it?
Well, that's what leads into the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So there's the door with the peephole and the door that won't budge, and then a door in the bathroom. Okay. Yeah. I'm sensing that I am trapped in here, and it seems like that the door that I was knocking on that wasn't a door was the only thing close to an egress for me. So I go back to it, and I kind of want to like study it just slightly to see if there are any hinges or like any parts where the door is not connected to the wall, or like what are the seams of the door look like?
Okay. Make a perception roll.
Okay, how do I do that?
Yeah, so difficulty 5, it's an intellect test. So if you want to spend on it, you would spend out of intellect. So difficulty 5, you need a 15 or higher. You need a 15 or higher on a d20 to succeed.
Okay, I have 1 edge in intellect, so I'll spend 2 of my pool.
Okay, perfect.
And what does that do for me again?
You now need a 12 or higher to succeed.
Okay, cool. 15.
15. All right. Terrific. So the door, after close examination, it has hinges on the inside. Right. So you see 3 hinges. But on close examination, the door and the hinges aren't real. They are. It's a big chunk of metal printed to look like a door. Like not printed, molded really to look like a door. Right?
That changes what my next plan was going to be. I was going to try to drop kick the door. It seems like all of the exits out of here are all like metal, right? Like there's like metal blinds and there's a metal door. I seem to be trapped in a metal box of some sort. I think I say, hello, is there anybody else there? I seem to be stuck. And if this is a dream, tell me something that only I would know.
And you can hear this voice, not Stan Lee, from nearby. This voice calling out.
I'm losing
Mark,
it.
you also hear very, very faintly the sound of a man's voice. Very, very faintly again.
Do I recognize the voice?
No.
I stopped jumping up and down on the bed, and I just kind of tossed the lamp and the comm device to the ground, and I'm just, hello, hello.
Are you trapped too?
We're trapped.
The door isn't real. The door is metal.
I haven't even tried the door yet. This room's crazy.
and Mark, your character can hear this woman's voice talking about being trapped and that this place is crazy, coming from the other side of the wall.
Behind the eyes?
Yes, behind the eyes, behind the wall of eyes.
Well, hello. What is going on here? Will you please let me out? I get the joke. It's very funny, but it's time for me to leave now. Hello?
Which wall is that coming out for me?
That is coming out from the wall near the dresser.
I go across and I'm like, Narnia. And I open up the dresser and I look inside.
Okay. Dresser has two drawers, so you like go to do that and you pull the drawers out part way, and they're empty drawers.
Empty, both of them empty. I completely like, is the dresser made of wood like the desk was?
Is, yeah. Yep. And Mark, your character hears a scraping sound on the other side of the wall.
I'm going to try smashing into the wall. I'm tired of this, and I'm going to smash those eyeballs.
Okay.
I'll try using just the back of that, whatever that contraption is, and try to just break a hole in the wall.
Okay. All right. You take a swing at the wall. You can't miss. And you hit it, and when you do, a couple of things happen. One, you hit. There's sort of a green and red spatter that happens where the thing you're holding hits the wallpaper, and the eyes all start blinking very quickly.
Good. I hit him again. I just keep smashing the goddamn wall in the same place, trying to get through it.
All right. So from behind the dresser, you hear bang, 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 bang. It's crazy pounding on the wall.
Try breaking through the wall.
And Devin, you can very, very vaguely hear the sound of somebody pounding on a wall.
BRB.
Maybe coming from the other room.
I yell BRB and I go back and I grab my lamp and I'm looking between Devin's wall and Mark's wall and Devin's wall. And I wait for the next sound.
Is there anything heavy in the room that I could pick up?
Like the heaviest thing you think you could easily pick up is one of the nightstands.
Okay, I'm getting like increasingly paranoid, especially now that this like door seems to be fake. So I go to pick up the nightstand.
Okay.
And I throw it at the mirror in the bathroom.
Okay.
Rockstar.
Yeah. There's a horrible, horrible crashing sound that comes from that room. That Mr. Not Stanley, you hear for sure. And maybe I mean that's a pretty big break. Mark, your character hears something also, like smashing from the other side. Your guess, because you hear that smash and the other person was nearby that you heard, or the sound of the scraping sound was next to the wall. Maybe there are two people in the room next to you. And we will go from this dramatic smashing sound back to Mr. Average Guy's room. Where did we leave you?
So after making contact with the voice on the other side of the wall, who then apparently reacts to something and is making sounds that are actually a little concerning to this very average guy, kind of backs away a little bit, unsure, and is looking around. And does this room have a telephone? Actually, judging by the map, I was standing right in front of it. So kind of seeing that, and again wanting to kind of like test the limits of this illusion. Lift the handset and put it to my ear. Do I hear a dial tone?
No.
No dial tone.
No
Check
dial
the rotary dial.
Okay.
411.
It clicks. You hear it.
But no answer. No.
Silence from the other side.
Yeah. But I kind of slam the handset down and go, this isn't funny. These mind games aren't going to work the 10th time. Look around.
Again,
check the window.
Your character can hear this person, this proclamation faintly from the other side of the wall.
And I again pound on the wall. Are you okay in there? I take it you just woke up too?
You're muted, Fiona.
Sorry, have you looked at the wallpaper?
I actually realized I haven't even turned on the light yet. I've been operating kind of like letting my eyes adjust to the gloom a little bit with the light, scant light coming in through around the blinds. And go, no. What?
The wallpaper.
The wallpaper. He backs up and the wallpaper.
You can very vaguely see some sort of floral pattern. I mean, it's really dark in the room.
I'll go to the lamp and turn the lamp on.
And Lisa, of course, you can hear someone yell, "The wallpaper!" from the next room. A woman's voice.
Well, I'm pretty amazed that they're speaking English, aren't they?
The woman that you hear, she's speaking English.
That's awfully strange. I'm not in America. So I look over at the phone and I try it one more time. Okay. I'm kneeling on the bed and I scooch over to the nightstand and I pick up the phone and put the receiver to my ear and try one more time. Tap, tap, tap the little button. Okay. Little button. Try to get the operator. Try to see what.
Okay. You every time you tap it, you hear a click every time you tap. Click, 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 click. You can hear it in the handset.
Operator.
No response from the other end.
Hang up. I'm utterly baffled and kind of freaked out. So I back away slide off the bed and stand back up, slip my shoes on,
You got shoes?
tie the laces, grab my coat, grab my hat, dash across the room, and hand on the doorknob and turn.
Okay, and it does not turn. It doesn't jiggle, it doesn't move, it doesn't make a sound.
Back away from the door and look around the room and look for the window.
It's a
Head
lovely,
over to the
it's a lovely
window.
little room.
Head over to the window.
Okay. You get over to the window, and like, you know, there's two thin slits of light coming from it. You can see that there's a louvered blind inset into the window.
Reach up and grab the little twizzle thing and twizzle it to open
Yeah,
the
there
blinds.
should be a little twizzly thing, but no.
That's odd.
Or maybe a pull string, something like that.
Is there?
No,
No.
nothing.
All
like
right.
that.
That's this is really odd. So I reach out and put my fingers in between the blind and pull two of them apart.
Yeah, except that there isn't really a way to get your finger between the blind. Like when you do that, normally, you know, with the metal ones, one will bend and you can get your finger underneath, and then, but it doesn't bend, it doesn't move.
I'm gonna walk back over to the door. This woman's voice. This isn't. I'm not supposed to be in this country right now. I'm very confused. So I go over to the door and I start tapping on the door, checking to see if it's hollow. Is there any knock? Is there something like you're checking for a stud in the wall or something?
Yeah, it sounds wooden. Let's find out what's happening with the woman in the next room.
I was just screaming wallpaper.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to hear if anyone sees what I see.
How about it, average guy?
Yes, well, as I reached over and flipped on the light switch, get a better look at.
Yeah, of course it's blindingly bright.
Yeah. Okay. Blinking my eyes. What is it about this wallpaper?
Well, you take a close look at the wallpaper, and you know it's a lovely floral pattern. It looks like vines are growing along the walls. They're little yellow flowers where intersections of the vines come together.
Okay. I peer closer, you know, run my fingers down the wallpaper.
It's a little odd when you get close up to it. Like you can actually feel the surface of the plant, and it feels sort of like a plant. It feels organic. Weird thing though is that when you do that, you notice there's a little flower off to the left a little bit, and in the center of the flower, instead of like a pistil and stamen, there looks to be a human eye, and it blinks.
A tiny human eye, or like
a tiny human eye. Yeah.
Her rears back. That's
Yeah. Make a shock check. That's an intellect defense roll. The level is 2. You need a 6 or higher to succeed. Okay. You can spend effort out of intellect if you like.
I got a 12, so I'm good.
Got a 12. Okay. It's pretty weird, but other than that,
this is especially weird. This is like grotesque.
There's just been silence from the other side of the wall after you asked about the wallpaper.
Oh,
Nothing.
okay.
Silence.
And actually, this bears investigation. I peer closer at this little eye.
Okay.
And
you can see it's kind of tracking you as you come in.
I'll poke it with a pinky tip.
Okay. It blinks.
I'll poke it again.
Okay. It blinks and kind of stays closed. There's a little fleshy covering over it.
Poke it and just see if how far I can drive my pinky into it, and I'll just keep going until I meet resistance.
Okay. It spatters, like there's little like clear fluid and then blood that spatters out away from it and runs down the wall.
You hear this,
and out of your peripheral vision, you see the eyes and all the other flowers around you blinking very suddenly.
You hear yeah, they're eyeballs, all right. I don't know what to say about that, and I have to sit down and do a little breathing exercises. This is beyond containment, and this is
about that time,
approaching the edge of psychological torture.
Okay, and about that time, Fiona's character hears from the other side of the room a wooden sort of tapping noise.
Where? By the bed? By the bathroom?
Let's see, from near the dresser.
Okay. And what's the tapping noise sound like?
It's like two quick raps. Dunk, dunk.
Okay, I do it back on the same wall.
Okay. So Lisa, there's your guy standing there, knocking on that door, and then you hear a rap from the wall over by the bed.
Back where we started.
Yeah, back where you heard the dame's voice.
Dame's voice.
There's a group of us obviously in here. Hello?
You vaguely hear this woman's voice calling out.
Yeah, I'm freaked out. Well, not freaked out, because that's the wrong vernacular. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Just the language alone doesn't make sense. And all this knocking, and it's so bright, and
well, your eyes have adjusted. It's normal now.
oh hell. Hey lady.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I asked you first.
Damn it. My name's Cynthia. You can call me Cynthia.
How long have you been here, Cynthia?
I don't know. I just woke up like 30 minutes.
What does your room look like? Where are you?
I'm starting to feel like I don't trust her. I'm starting to feel like I don't want to give up too much information.
Him. It's a male voice that comes from the other side of the wall.
Yeah. My apologies, pronouns.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like I don't trust him. I know that there's somebody on that side. I know that there's another guy on the other side that was freaking out because he saw the eyeballs too. So we're here. We're seeing some of the same shit, but I don't want to give up too much information. Tell me about you now.
Yeah, I'm in a room too.
Where are you from?
America. Sounds like you are too.
Same. Philly.
Ah.
And then I run over to the other side of the back of the bed and I slam there and I'm like, hey, eyeball boy, where are you from?
Sorry. Yeah. The name's Dakota. You could call me Dak. Some people around work call me Dak. Not many people. You just call me Dakota. It's
Where are
fine.
you from?
Oh, it's a little suburb in Virginia, Fairleigh. You probably haven't heard of it. It's mostly government contract. It's pretty nice. Wasn't too bad, really. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Yeah. So, and you are?
I'm Cynthia.
Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Nice to meet you.
And Lisa, you can hear again this one side of this conversation, right? You can hear her calling out. You can hear the dame on the other side calling out. She seems to be having a conversation with somebody else who you can't hear.
Hey, lady. Hey, lady.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to over there? Why
His
am I
name's-
suddenly from New York.
His name's Dax. He's from Virginia. Where are you from? Tell me your name.
Albert. I told you I'm from the States.
Yeah, which state?
California.
How the fuck did we get here?
And that is a great line to cut away to back to Devin's character. Devin, if I remember correctly, you just smashed a piece of furniture against the mirror. There's a big mess in the big satisfying mess in the bathroom. There are broken pieces of wood lying all over the place. There's shattered chunks of mirror in the sink and on the floor and on the counter. Now what?
I don't know. I'm kind of panicking. I rush back out into the room, and I go back to where I heard the banging back before from the room adjacent. And I yell, "Hey, what's going on?"
Okay, so you're over near the exit door, or what you thought was an exit door at least, and the little dresser, yelling at that wall, and not Stan Lee. You hear him yelling in your direction, or at least yelling, "What's going on in here?" I think you're muted.
What's going on out there?
I'm trying things. Nothing's working. Appear to be trapped.
I tighten up my knot in my bun into a I'm about to work knot. I'm like, all right. This is a weird one. You can smell things. You can taste things. Okay. You over there on the other side of the eyeball wall.
The eyeballs? What are you talking about?
Holy shit. I run over to the other wall and I kind of bang on that one again. I'm like, you still there?
Okay.
You still there?
Yep.
You still there?
Yes. Are you breaking things? Are you trying to break out too? I'm smashing these eyeballs and it's really gross.
So you have eyeballs too. Okay. Hold on. Hold the phone. And I run back over. And I was like, okay, I've got someone over here also. They've got eyeballs on their wallpaper. I've got eyeballs on my wallpaper. And this is just a wacky dream.
I go to immediately start investigating the wallpaper after I hear about eyeballs on the wallpaper.
I mean, you were standing right there.
I have a poor prescription on my glasses.
His walleye vision.
Yeah. And you take a look at the wall, and it takes a moment, and then sure enough, you see in the center of each of the flowers there's an eyeball.
And are they static or are they moving?
How do you test that? I mean, when you first look at one, it just seems to be staring back at you. It doesn't move.
Yeah, and I just kind of like shift back and forth.
Yeah, it follows you, as do the other eyeballs that you can see in your peripheral vision. They all seem to follow you as you move around.
How do ciphers work? Out of curiosity.
You tell me that you're going to use one, and you take a moment. They require an action, so it takes a moment to do it, and then you just do it.
I think I'm gonna wait, actually.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out like what in the room I have really.
Oh, this is the first
interacted
time
with.
you've seen the eyeballs. I'll need a intellect defense roll from you.
Gotcha.
A shock roll. Difficulty level 2.
Okay.
You need a 6 or higher. You can spend out of your intellect pool if you like, but dice have hit the table. I can hear them.
And can I see? There we go.
2.
2.
There's a 2.
Nice.
Oh, the sativa was too much. I need a hybrid.
It was laced, man.
Yeah, it appears to be too much. All right. Okay.
First bad roll of the night. Let's go.
Exactly. You win.
All right. There is silence from the other room. There's some not Stanley. You hear a little bit of kind of shuffling around, kind of maybe sort of the sound of, I don't know, cloth rumpling. You're kind of, it's very quiet over there all of a sudden.
The dresser wall or the bedroom wall? Bed wall.
The bed wall.
Interesting.
Who you were just talking to about the eyes and the wallpaper. Suddenly becomes very quiet over there.
And I go back over there and I'm like, hello? Hello?
And there's no answer from over there.
Then I go back to the other wall. Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, I'm still here. What are you doing?
I'm looking at an eyeball wallpaper.
It's looking
I'm
at
just
us.
trying to wrap my head around a lot of things that are going on right now. I've had some trippy dreams before. This one feels super real.
You're on a trip? I was on a trip too. I was on my way to Auburn. Where were you headed? You weren't on the same train.
No, but I was on a trip also. I was on my way to Pluto.
What? What are you talking about?
Is Auburn a comet or some kind of station along the way? Did I get off course somehow?
Oh, you're clearly toying with me. You're talking about space travel. Is that what you're talking about? Me? I'm laughing.
Oh.
He's just like,
we call it stellar transit, but yes, I think that we're talking about the same thing. Stellar transit. I was on my way out to Pluto.
Pluto? We haven't even gotten to the moon yet. Are you crazy? What is going on? This is ridiculous.
And I just kind of roll my eyes like, this is a wild dream.
Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Captain Soto. What's your name?
Captain? Gideon Standish. I'm a professor at Brown University. I was on my way to Auburn about some odd photo of some strange disc in the sky. Obviously a fake, but it is my purpose to investigate such things. And now you're telling me that perhaps I am inside one of these round objects? This is ridiculous.
toe, you mean a flat hologram?
No, and like celluloid. Does that help or
A Holoroid. Yeah, you take a picture and it produces an instant hologram that you can remember things with. A Holoroid.
a holistic form of communication, like a telegram of some kind that speaks to more than one person?
It's kind of like a stellargram, which allows you to have interplanetary. You are really weirding me out. I thought these eyeballs.
You're the one talking nonsense. This is ridiculous.
You're the one that's the weird part of this dream.
I am simply on a train trying to get to someplace, and I'm trapped in this goddamn. Are we in purgatory?
Craters and comets. You're making no sense, man.
And we
hear any of this?
we fade away from that and back momentarily into Devin's character's room, where we see him curled up in the bed in the quilt on top of the bed, curled up in a ball, holding the quilt tightly against himself. And then he sort of pokes his head out, and can as he hears, these intense voices coming from the other side of the eyeball wall nearby. And from there, we then fade back into the person who's now identified themselves as Dakota, back into his room, where he's sitting on the side of the bed, catching his breath, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So, taking a look at this wall of eyes, I'm curious. Do I see any ears? Are there ears in the ceiling? I'm looking around and just seeing if this motif is repeated anywhere. If there's organic I check the bed, check the blanket and pull it back and inspect the mattress.
I mean, it's a quilt cover. There's no bed sheets. There's a mattress. There's a quilt cover. There's quilt. There are no sheets. You don't see an ear motif anywhere. All the flowers, as you look, have these eyes. Occasionally, they blink at you.
Mm-hmm. Are they the same color or different colors?
They're the same color. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, have a green iris.
Say out loud. You guys could just watch me if you wanted to. You didn't have to actually creep me out at the same time while you're doing it. This is a new low, guys. Fucking with my head like this. I appreciate it. So I'm sorry. What was your name again? I like patting on
Cynthia.
Cynthia, right. What do you do, Cynthia?
And Albert, again, you can hear one side of this exchange.
I'm sorry. Just making conversation. Looks like we're stuck here. I don't know. I'll start. I'm just a clerk at a government office, and I was doing some late night work brought some work home and was making a sandwich, and now I'm here. I don't imagine that you really understand why you're here either.
Guess not. I immediately want to start ripping off wallpaper and destroying the room.
Okay. Do you just want to do that, or do you actually try and do that?
Yeah, no, I do that. I start like looking at he's talking to me, and I'm like trying to peel off the paper around the eyeball, and I like want to. So what happens when I do that?
Okay. So you start peeling away at it, and you can peel away like the plant material, but it doesn't appear to actually be wallpaper. It appears that there's actually this very thin plant growing up along the wall. And so as you try and peel away at it, you pull bits and pieces of the plant away. So, long strip of vine basically like comes off in your hand and like flops over. And, the eyeballs all blink, in shock. And, you keep doing that. You can, you pull away more of this plant material. And as you scratch through one of the eyeballs, there's like a wet splatter and like clear fluid and blood runs down the wall.
Gross.
Hey, lady, why are you so quiet in there?
I got a feeling that that this isn't what we think it is. Can everyone kind of do a recon of their space?
Sure. I got a phone. I got nightstands. I got a bed. I got a bathroom. What do you have?
Same, literally the same. Does your phone work?
No, tried it twice.
Shit. Can you open any of your doors?
Nope.
Hey, Albert, it occurs to you that you actually picked up the phone at one point, and there's no cord coming off of it.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, so,
Captain Toto has a kitten.
is there anything in that room? Is there anything in that room that can be penetrated with the phone? Can it be used as a weapon to break? Is that phone strong enough to bust anything through, like bust a wall to the other people?
Hard to say, not knowing since you don't know what the walls are made of. Also, you haven't been in the other room you haven't been in the bathroom. Like you've moved around, but you didn't specifically go into that room.
True.
But what you can see, you don't see anything that looks immediately breakable, but if it's a standard sort of last wall, maybe, but it would take some doing, right? You'd have to like break the plaster and then break the wood behind that, and then break the plaster on the other side.
And if I'm if I'm following, and if I haven't spaced out, I haven't seen eyes or plants or.
Well, you've seen the wallpaper that looks like plants. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the vininess of the wallpaper, but I haven't seen eyeballs yet.
That's right.
Okay, thank you. Hey, lady, my phone doesn't even have a cord. How about yours? I don't want to be New York.
I go over to my phone. Does my phone have a cord?
No, it doesn't have a cord. There's a cord between the handset and the base, but there's no cord connecting it to a plug.
This is like we're in like some kind of like government trick. They're spying on us. It's like an operative, and we're in here because of some reason.
Lady, did you just say you're a spy?
No. What I'm saying is that if we're in a space that has all of these weird details, there's something up. This isn't a coincidence. We're here on purpose.
Who are you talking to? I shout through the wall.
Albert, he's on the other side of me.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of you.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Dakota.
Who's Dakota?
What do I do? It seems like there's loads of us, okay? All I know is that there's me. On one side of me is Dakota, and on the other side of me is you, Albert.
So there's three of us?
So far. I'm just trying to figure out where the doors lead.
I remember I have that pounding headache from waking up and not knowing where I was. So I who don't know where I was standing at this point, but wherever I'm
Yeah.
standing, I
Yeah.
walk over to the bathroom
Okay.
and head into the bathroom and flick the light switch, and
Okay.
bathroom light
Um,
comes on.
Well, you go to flick the light switch and you hit a light switch, and it turns out not to be an up and down toggle. There are two buttons, one up, one down, one above the other. And so you
I push the top button.
okay, the lights come on.
Excellent.
Yep.
I look
That's,
around the room. What
yeah,
does it look like?
You've got a clawfoot bathtub. You've got a little cabinet. You've got a wash basin, with plumbing. There's a shaving kit set up next to it, and a washcloth.
Do I recognize the
and
shaving
a towel
kit?
and a towel draped over the clawfoot tub.
Do I recognize the shaving kit as my own?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, that's fucking interesting. I'm taken aback. I look at the shaving kit from where I'm standing in the doorway, and I'm a little hesitant. Do I even belong in this room? I don't even know how I got in here, and that's not my shaving kit. And all I want is aspirin, but you wouldn't give it to me. So I walk over to the shaving kit and do I see a toothbrush by chance?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep,
Sitting
there's a
out?
toothbrush. There's a toothbrush and paste.
And they're sitting out?
Yes. Mm-hmm. On the
So
counter.
I walk over and I grab the toothbrush, pick it up, and use it to shush open the shaving kit. I'm using it just in case there's, I don't know what's in the shaving kit. It's a shaving kit, the little kind that you open up.
Yeah, it's a little leather. Yeah, a little leather kit.
Leather shaving kit. It's not mine. I'm not sticking my hand in there. So I use the toothbrush to part it open, and I wonder what I see in there.
Okay. You see a little brush, and a little bit of shaving powder in a paper packet, and a straight razor. And
I reach
from the
my
straight
hand
razor, from the glistening straight razor, we will shift over. We will shift over to Gabriel Standish. What are you up to?
Well, I'm getting to know Captain Soto, and then there's the other one who has gone quiet. And do I can hear Devin's character a bit, yeah, as well, or is it just Soto?
Just Soto.
Yes. So I take a little bit of a break with myself and try to calm down. I've taken off my coat and I've been smashing things and I've been very enraged, and I try to kind of collect myself for a moment and think about what this situation may be. As a player, my guess is that he's being watched and kept in a cage by aliens. That's just what I would think as a character. I imagine he might be kind of getting a clue that there's some sort of outside alien influence, whether they be spirits or
we'll hear that in sort of voiceover as from the back of your head.
Yes, clearly this is not the realm of Osiris. He wouldn't have such tacky wallpaper, and it couldn't be. And he just begins to kind of figure it all out. He's sort of just taking in the room and Sherlocking around and just trying to make sense of things, and maybe collect himself a little bit and just sort of be in his head. He might even check the Bible and look and see if there's any wallpaper in purgatory or eyeballs or things like that, like just some kind of something.
Yes. Well, what you discover in purgatory or wherever it is that you are, that there's no printing inside the Bible. All the pages are blank.
I reach out to Soto and I say,
"Okay,
sir, you're a captain. Did you fight in the war?
Well, I take it you're a military person too, because you keep referring to me as sir, which I really appreciate, and nom de plume for the Naval Academy.
Oh, the Navy. Yes. Well, I did manage to avoid the war myself. You know what, with all the young
Devin,
people.
your head begins to clear, and you're starting to hear, the woman next door.
So, and are you a lady? Perhaps your voice has a timbre that sounds like a lady, but you're saying you're a captain, so I'm a bit confused.
Are you saying that captain is an occupation only men can hold?
Well, I imagine there have been a few pilots, but not in the military.
A few pilots. I'm one of the damn best pilots, and you better check yourself, crazy voice in my head. Why am I doubting myself? Why is this happening? Am I the best pilot?
Well, that's wonderful. That's good for you. It's new to me, and I've seen some things.
Okay, voice in my head, Gabriel Standish. I'm pretty sure that's one of the characters in my dad's romance novels. So I think I'm probably going crazy here. And I go back to the other wall, and I'm like, hello, are you still there?
Devin, we can't hear you.
Yeah, what's going on? The eyes, they're looking at me.
Well, that's my it over there, so I'm assuming you're my ego. What have I done to get here?
I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know how I got here. I'm kind of freaking out.
Okay, so as long as we're all on the same neutral ground of freaking out, let me breathe.
Who are you?
I am Captain Soto. Thank you very much.
Captain.
And
Captain
I assume you must be the Spock, and the other one must be my McCoy. I'm going deep into the recesses of my unconscious in this particular dream. This is a very long, weird, deep wake.
My name is Mubarak.
Mubarak. Where have I heard that name before? Oh, the great geoforming wars of Uranus. I totally remember that name. He was a general, I believe. These are just coming out of the woodwork of the recesses of my mind.
Wait,
so,
who's president of the United States right now?
The United States? Is this a history class? What's going on?
Is Donald Trump president?
No, we are on. If you were going to call a leader of the Americas, it would most likely be the northern part is a private island run by JB5, the fifth clone of Jeff Bezos, and the southern portion is in utter disarray. I couldn't say that there's actually anyone leading it since the great AI uprising of 2095.
I'm from 2020. There's something going on here.
2020?
Oh, I wish I had my cards.
Why, yes, I have 2020 vision. Of course. What are you talking about in there?
What are you? Eyeballs. If there was only a way we could all be in the same room.
Well, I'm trying to smash through the wall, but I'm just making a mess.
I'm going to go to Mubarak's side of the wall and just keep pushing in, push against, ignoring any of the ooze or blood that comes off, and I'm just going to keep pushing until I just am exhausted.
Okay.
I
yeah.
pick up a piece of broken
I
glass.
think I can do it this way. Anything?
I pick up a piece of broken glass and I
Nothing.
start to try to like tear at the wallpaper around where.
So you go back then into the bathroom to pick
Yeah.
up the pieces of broken glass?
Yeah.
Well, there are none.
All right. Is the mirror intact?
There's a completely intact mirror, and sitting in front of the sink is a completely intact nightstand.
I go back to Captain Soto and say, before you came here, did you see a figure wearing gray?
Before I came here, what's the last thing I remember before I went into deep wake?
Big eyes.
No. The last thing I remember is that I was shuttling a couple of weirdos to Pluto. And when I made it to the far side, oh my God, that's right.
And we will cut away there.
And I fall
we
to
will
the
cut
ground.
away there. Back to Cynthia's room, as she is having this running conversation back and forth between the people on either side of her walls.
I feel like we all need to do some tests here and figure out this space. Have you guys tried to rip off your wallpaper? All mine's made out of plants.
Okay. So Cynthia, if it's okay with you, I will say you are standing in the middle of the room, shouting loud enough to be heard by both people on either side. Does that work?
Yes, that's what I feel like I'm doing.
Okay.
You guys figured out your wallpaper yet? Because my shit is made out of roots.
I'll check the basically investigate that myself, and upon seeing that she's right, this isn't wallpaper. This is some kind of organic strap. Well, this looks grown. I don't know. I'm gonna check out I need to check out the wiring, and I want to go check out one of those. How the lamp is actually set up.
Okay.
It's plugged into the wall.
No. You go over and you pick up the lamp, and there's no cord.
There's no cord.
No.
And it's just generating light on its own.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the light bulb itself just appears to be like,
well, it doesn't appear to actually be a light bulb. It's a little cube that just gives off light.
Huh.
Wait, what's a cube that gives off light? I missed that.
The light bulb.
Oh.
In the lamp.
You notice how everything here looks like it was made by someone who's seen these things once and was asked to recreate them on the fly?
Yeah. Except the person that created them on the fly was the Wicked Witch of the West.
Nice analogy. I love that movie. Actually, a friend of mine just happened, his grandfather was the special effect. Actually, never mind that. Anyway, all I gotta say is the reason I was asking you where you're from is, I feel like we're here for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yes. I walk into the bathroom. I haven't been into the bathroom yet.
Okay. You walk into the bathroom, and you can see that there is there's a sink and a mirror above the sink. On the counter on either side of the sink, you see a washcloth and a shaving kit, an old-fashioned leather shaving kit, folded up. There's a soft towel draped over a clawfoot bathtub and a little cabinet. And there's a light over the sink. You see an old, funny, like 2-button push light switch next to the door.
Okay, and I pushed both of them.
Okay. Nothing happens. You can tell that they're kind of connected to each other. There's like one out and one in.
Okay, can I like rip a panel off or something?
No, it's just the 2 buttons sticking out of the wall. You would expect there to be a light plate around there, but there isn't one.
And I'm just like pushing them. I'm just like this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Just-
So as you push them, the lights in there go on and off and on and off and
Okay,
on
okay,
and off. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll go from that image of lights flashing back and forth to find out what Albert's doing.
Albert reaches in. I reach into the shaving kit and pull out the straight razor.
Mm-hmm.
What do I see? Anything?
It looks like a standard straight razor. It folds.
Wonderful.
Unfold it.
Good. These are handy. I think I'm going to keep this. Fold the straight razor and slip it into my pants pocket.
Okay.
Look over at the sink, and is there a mirror above the sink?
There is. Yep.
Walk over to the sink and reach up to the mirror.
Okay.
Try to give it a little tug to see if it's a medicine cabinet.
Seems to just be a mirror mounted on the wall.
Just a mirror mounted on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Has a beautiful frame.
Hey, Cynthia,
Yeah.
talk to me about the walls again.
They're like roots. It's like plants that are alive. And I feel like I'm dreaming, but I know that I'm not. I'm in the bathroom. I like dig through. I like answer a question, and then I like dig through my shaving kit,
Mm-hmm.
and I find the switchblade, but that's not switchblade. What is it? Razor.
Yeah, straight razor.
Switchblade. And I walk over, and I'm like, I'm gonna test it out, Albert. And I take the razor and I try and cut some of the plant wallpaper.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
It's like cutting through a vine. You cut through it. A little bit of stuff, a little bit of sap sort of oozes out in between and runs down the wall.
Okay, what's real? What's real?
Yeah.
What's real?
Here's the strange thing, though. Like you walk out, you do that. You sort of look at it, and then you look on either side, and you remember a little while ago you tore away a bunch of the vines and things, and it seems to have all grown back. The wall's clean except for the one spot where you cut through it.
Ooh. Okay, so now I'm questioning my own reality. I usually have a pretty decent head on my shoulders. I can handle some shit, but this is not normal. So I take the razor and I sliced my hand open.
Okay. You drag it across your hand, and it slides along the surface of your skin and does not cut into it.
Okay, I do it like 5 times more.
Okay, we will slide away from you doing that back to Dakota, who hears some silence from the other. You hear like a scraping sound on the other side of the wall, and then nothing for a few moments.
All right. Well, I need to explore my space a little further. I'll open the. I'll check the closet. And
okay.
You're not even bleeding?
It's not even bleeding. Doesn't even leave a mark.
The room isn't real, and neither are you.
in the closet, you see your suit jacket and tie and shoes.
All right. Anything in? Just the clothing? No other personal effects?
That's correct.
All right. And is there a crack under the door, like Is there enough?
Uh,
Is
yeah.
there space under the front door, or is it purely like solid apart from the?
It seems to come flush up against the
flush
carpet.
right down. Right. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, you can see a little indentation in the carpet where the door sits sort of flush down against it.
Yeah. And the bathroom. Is there a shaving kit in there?
Yeah, there's a shaving kit in there, and a washcloth, and a towel, and a little cabinet, and a mirror, and push button lights, old timey push button lights on the wall.
So essentially, I need to start rendering all the pieces of my room into pieces so that I can start formulating tools from them. So if I can find a straight razor in that shaving kit, I'm then looking for any part that has a bolt and of course or a screw that I can unscrew. And it's actually likely that when I don't find them, that I kind of freak out a little.
That is exactly what happens. You start looking for the parts to disassemble things, and there are no parts to disassemble things. So Albert, it's become quiet on the other side of the wall. Do you stay in the bathroom?
No. I got the razor in my pocket, and I head back over into the bedroom portion and head over to pick up that phone again.
When you step out there, you go over to the phone.
Go over to the phone again, and
so as you're approaching the phone, you sense as much as see some sort of motion on the surface of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Does the motion have form? Or what form does the motion have?
You're not sure. Like, you're walking over there, you were focused on the phone, right? And then just sort of out of your peripheral vision, you see you like something moved.
Hey, Cynthia.
This is all fucked up, y'all.
Now, calm down, lady. What are you doing right now?
I'm not bleeding. Right now, I am not bleeding.
Are you touching the wall?
I can.
But you weren't, right?
No.
Stay away from the walls, okay? I grabbed the phone.
Okay.
And I walked back to the bathroom.
Okay. When you pick up the phone, right, and you've picked up and moved the phone on several occasions, when you pick up the phone, you realize that there is something sitting on the nightstand in front of the phone. It's a little tent card.
Say that again?
It's a little tent card. Yeah, about the size. It's sort of like the size of an elongated business card, and there's writing on it.
I see. That's strange. That wasn't there before. Reach forward, take the body of this nice, sturdy Bakelite phone in one hand, the body, and I pick up the card in the other, and the card says,
I'm going to.
It's okay. You can check your chat on Discord.
Check your chat on Discord, and you will see what the card says.
Oh shit! Okay, sorry. Fucking tools and shit. All right.
That was freaky, man. That was super freaky.
Wait, there's all kinds of, oh my gosh, wait, sorry, I'm not good at this.
Okay, we'll come back to you.
Wait, I can't see where it is.
Okay, while you find it, we will shift away to we will shift away to let's see, where were we? Back to Captain Soto.
So yeah, I've collapsed in a heap on my knees as I'm making the recollection of my my trip to Pluto, and I just start mumbling to myself, and there was those. What was that thing? There shouldn't have been anything back there. What was that thing? There shouldn't have been anything back there. Hello?
Yes. Hello. Are you all right?
Yes, both Mubarak and Gabriel can hear Captain Soto calling out.
There's something extremely weird. This must be one of those hollow vacations, or I never woke up from the deep wake in between Neptune and Pluto. This might be space madness, but I'm sure I saw something existing on the backside of Pluto that it's impossible. We haven't gotten that far to colonize yet, and I just continue to ramble on about myself about the colonization of Pluto and the timeline that I know in my head.
Right. Pluto, in fact, being off limits.
Are you having an existential crisis right now? You don't sound well.
Okay, voice in my head. That's good. You're at least steady.
Yes.
So if
Keep
I'm
calm.
gonna be crazy, I want to be one kind of crazy.
I mean, you're a captain, for heaven's sake, right? You should be able to handle this.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a point. Everyone eventually breaks. There's only so many of these interstellar deep wake sleeps that you can take before you just lose your mind. And it's never you, right? No, this couldn't be me. Like, it's not me. This is just a weird dream that I'm having. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna have space eggs, and it's gonna be delicious. And this is okay. And I start going through my hyperventilating exercises. Okay.
Mubarak, do you say or do anything while this is going on? I mean, you can hear this ramble on the other side of the wall.
Makes no sense. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted there, Mubarak.
I think we need to work together. It seems we're all trapped here.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, the disparate parts of my mind should not be in different compartments. You're right. Okay, brain. We're gonna do this. We are going to get out of here.
I tried to break the mirror in the bathroom, but it reformed. There's something crazy going on.
Okay, so mirror, self-image. Maybe it's something about my reflection of how I see myself in my own eyes. This is...
No, you're captive. We are not some figment. You, like all the rest of us, are captive.
That's
God
what
knows who's taken us.
Would say, nice try, Figment. I've had training on this.
You've had too much laudanum is what you've had. Good God. What is this madness? Very frustrated.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna listen to reason.
Yes.
And Standish sounds a bit more reasonable. Then I'm gonna break everything in the other room. Mubarak. So we're gonna go with Standish first, and if this plan doesn't work, then I'm sure whatever Mubarak has got up his sleeve, which is my sleeve, because I'm me, is gonna get me out of this, and I'll figure out how to wake out of this pretend box of a horrible dream, nightmare dream.
That is a perfect moment to slide back to Albert as he has picked up the card and has read what's on the card. You can share that or not. It's sent to you privately on purpose.
What on purpose?
Like it's sent to you privately on purpose.
Right.
So
Right. So Cynthia, you sound a little freaked out.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here. I like sat on the edge of the bed and I've just been like cutting my hand with this thing and I'm not bleeding. And so I've been kind of like thinking that this is some kind of trick or some kind of something. I might be dead by now, but I definitely feel like I don't trust anybody in the space. And it's almost like I feel like I need to win or get out of here before other people. So I'm a little hesitant and I'm like, yeah, Albert, I'm still here. I'm just trying to figure it all out. What have you figured out so far?
I got nothing, but I'm kind of not feeling good about this. Talk to me some more. Tell me where are you from? And in the meantime, I'm wandering.
Albert, I'm from Philly.
And as she's answering me, I've still got that phone body in one hand.
right.
I'm starting to walk back to the bathroom.
Okay. As you turn into the bathroom, again, sort of out of the corner of your eye, you see some motion on the wall.
Cynthia from Philly, is your wall moving?
Yeah, it's been moving. You told me to stay away from it, no?
So it has been moving. You said it was vines. Are the vines moving?
I walk up closer to the wall, to the area that I cut the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's all healed now?
No, there's a cut there.
Okay. And is it moving?
Well, I mean, there's the eyes there, but
yeah, they're still
the wall
blinking.
itself's not moving.
I mean, the eyeballs on the wall are blinking, Albert. So yeah, I guess the wall's moving.
Lucky dame, you got eyeballs on your wall.
I don't trust Albert.
So you're looking closer at the wall, and you too see eyeballs. You see little tiny eyeballs in the middle of the flowers that you hadn't noticed before. And you sort of put two and two together, and you realize that the motion you're seeing is the eye when it blinks. In fact, several eyes when they blink, and the eye turns and follows you as you lean in to look at the.
Well, I'm crossing the floor with the body of the phone in my hand, and I'm heading towards that damn bathroom with every intention to smash that bathroom mirror in with the phone. But I'll be goddamned, I say loudly enough for Cynthia to hear me.
What?
Looks like I got me some eyeballs too.
And Albert's going to need to make a intellect defense roll, difficulty level 2, a shock roll.
Okay,
you need a 6 or better on a d20 to succeed. If you want to spend a little bit of, if you want to spend 3 intellect, you can make it one step easier, and it'd be a 3 or better.
So, question.
Yes.
Can I ask questions? Because I don't want to interrupt this fantastic story flow.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Would you slow down just a little bit and explain again what I'm doing, and just maybe the simplest reason of why I'm doing it? I'm new.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
So you're seeing something unnatural.
Yeah.
Something very surprising, which is a bunch of living eyeballs embedded in a wall, and that's a shock. So you're making a shock roll to see how your character reacts. If you fail the shock roll, just like when Mubarak failed it, I will momentarily take control of the character, and something interesting will happen to them. if you succeed, you'll carry on and do as you like. So because it's a mental shock, you make what's called an intellect defense roll.
Oh.
So in the game system, everything has a level. This is a level 2. And if you multiply times 3, so level 2 times 3 is 6, then you need a 6 or higher on the D20 to succeed at the shock roll.
Thank
So if
you.
you roll less than 6, that'll be a fail.
That's a fail, and you get to take control and do something deviously interesting and delicious.
Delightfully interesting, yeah.
Right. So I don't know if I want to do well or not. Honestly,
It's more fun to roll badly.
badly.
be.
Well, I was doing that the other night, so let's see if I can hold up. What did I got a 12. What did I need?
You got a 12. You need a 6 or higher.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right. You're free to do whatever you like.
All right.
As you come to realize you're being stared at from every wall around you.
I'm gonna drop. I drop that. I am not shocked into being immobile, but I'm shocked enough to drop that damn phone that I've been clutching so hard. And
Okay.
I reach into my pocket.
Clang! It makes a heck of a racket when it hits the ground.
Reach into my pocket and pull out the straight razor.
Yeah.
Head over to an eye
Uh-huh.
and slash.
Yeah. It slashes like an eyeball, like clear liquid sprays, blood sprays across the wall, runs down the wall, a little bit of green goo as well.
All over my nicely, freshly pressed suit.
Yeah, you got a couple of little things there.
Just goo all over me, and what the hell? And
Okay, Albert.
Yeah. From that lovely scene, we will switch back over to Mr. Standish. What's Mr. Standish up to? Where are you in your room?
Well, at this point, I've been talking to Soto, but now there must be others. So I will start kind of checking the other walls and see if I can reach out, see if I can find any of the other denizens of this afterlife.
Okay. So you're over kind of near the wall that the bed rests up against.
With the eyeballs.
And as you turn around, you spot something on top of the dresser that you hadn't seen before.
Odd. I'll move toward it.
Okay. It looks like a folded business card, sort of an elongated folded business card.
Ooh. He kind of relaxes, like, oh, this is just clearly a prank, and finally he's gonna see the calling card, and he picks it up.
Okay. Check your Discord channel.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Captain Soto's room next door. What's Captain Soto up to? Besides being muted, what is Captain Soto up to?
Captain Soto is picking herself up from the floor and just like regaining her composition after doing her breathing exercises. She knows that she's now got to take smaller breaths because in the blackness of space, every bit of oxygen is going to count, and so she just like starts to calm down. Okay, let's be logical about this. Standish, you're my clever part of my brain, so you figure something out. Mubarak, you're my passionate side of my brain. What the fuck's going on? No, I gotta calm down. Mubarak, what the fuck is going on? And you're now muted too.
Yeah, Mubarak's muted.
My brain.
I wish I knew, Captain. Do you have a peephole leading to another room in yours?
Of course, of course. Go deeper into my subconscious. That's the perfect metaphor. And I look around the room for a peephole.
Okay.
As soon
Well,
as
there are
I
two
locate the peephole, I
Uh-huh.
make my way over to it. And
Yeah. There's a peephole in the door down the little hallway next to the closet. And you look out, and you're looking out into a hallway. You can see the light from a wall sconce, putting a triangular, splash of light on the wall across the hallway.
I'm seeing the peephole, and there's some light. And is the wallpaper outside the same as the wallpaper inside?
Yes.
Can I see the carpet? Can I see the floor from my peephole?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you get up at kind of an angle, same carpet as in the room.
If I knock on the wall that she was knocking on before, I want to know where the peephole is relative to her hearing my knocks. I'm trying to figure out like how the rooms are oriented relative to each other.
And I knock in response to all of Mubarak's knocks.
Okay.
As I make my way to that side of the room.
Okay.
And we get a little pattern together, like.
I'll listen a bit too.
My name is Soto. I like the photos. No. We make our way to the peephole side of the door for me, my peephole.
Right. So with a little bit of experimentation between the three of you, right, between Standish, Soto, and Mubarak, you figure out that you are in identical rooms, right? Which means that let's see, Mubarak's room has one adjoining wall to Captain Soto, right? And that adjoining wall is where the door is with the peephole in it, right? So then the far side of the room, right? So you're, well, here.
We're like in three in a line, and then there's like a hallway.
It's three in a line. Yeah, there are three in a line, right? And they all look like this, right? So if they were stacked top to bottom, I'm sorry, if they're stacked like bottom to top, Mubarak's room would be on the bottom, and then Captain Soto's, and then Mr. Standish.
Copy.
Got it. So there's no one to my north.
No one that you've heard anyway.
And then if I knock on the east or west walls, or if any of us try knocking on those walls?
You knock on all of those walls, and there's no answer.
I go back and I knock on the non-hallway, the back wall, and I see
where the window is.
Yeah, like does it sound like? And I pound on it to hear. Does it have the same resonance of the other more hollow walls?
No, it's much more solid.
Excellent.
Yep. Yeah. That's like a very dull thump when you wrap up.
I feel like I should know something, but I don't.
What if we smash on the wall at the same time? We just start smashing, and then maybe we'll break through to each other.
All right, like that couldn't be the worst idea.
Just grab the phone. It's pretty hefty.
The phone.
Give it a good whack.
The comms unit. Yes. Okay. Let me grab my comms. And where do you want to start whack-a-moling?
Well, find the middle. Let's just find the middle. For me, it's behind my bed. The middle of the wall. I'll hit the middle of the wall.
Yeah,
I'll
so
just take some paces.
It'd be over the dresser then for Captain Soto.
And I'll try to smash like at the same time as him.
Okay.
And see if we
can. Since you're oriented, then Captain Soto, you go over toward the dresser, and as you walk over there with the phone, with the comms unit, you notice that there is something sitting on the dresser that you haven't seen before.
Ooh. As it catches my eye, what color is it?
It's brownish in color, tan kind of.
Glossy or matte?
Matte. It has writing on it. It has a little pattern on it.
I don't know if you've ever tripped out, but I like look at it and I'm like, okay, I don't know if you were there before, but I'm gonna pretend like you were there the whole time, and I'm gonna walk by you, and I continue making my way over, but I'm like, okay, something's fucking off, something's off, something's off.
Yeah,
and
you can see it's got a little bit of writing on it and has a logo on it.
Do I recognize the logo? I'm all about branding. I mean, I'm sponsored by Mick King Food Inc. So, you know, like I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. It's not a brand you recognize.
Interesting.
Marty. Yeah.
Yes. You can check your messenger chat if you pick it up and give it a read. And while you're looking at that, we will swing back to Dakota, who we last saw trying to disassemble furniture.
Yes.
Yes.
As
What piece of
frantically
furniture do you disassemble?
Well, he would go with the, he would initially go for the bed frame, thinking if there was a bed frame, thinking that steel legs and frame could be broken down into convenient parts, could then be rendered.
Yeah, it's a pallet with a mattress sitting on top of it. Yeah.
So there's not that. So then, he'll try the dressers. Maybe it's particle board held together with wood screws. And
okay. So you pick up the one of the end tables, right? And again, kind of maneuvering it around there's a little drawer in it, and it slides out. And there's what looks like a folded business card inside of it.
Setting the nightstand down.
It's tan in color.
Yeah, reach in and
has a logo on it, and underneath the logo it says Hotel Downtown.
Actually, could you describe it again?
It's like a folded business card. It's a little tent card, right? Only longer, about this wide.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll find what it says there.
Okay.
All right, and while you're looking at that, we will find out what Cynthia is up to.
Oh, I'm going nuts in here. I'm feeling real quiet. I kind of went into my own zone because I have a lot of distrust going on. I feel like this is some kind of ploy. Maybe I'm being tested. I don't have my shoes. My shoes give me comfort, so I'm like running around. I find the closet, looking for shoes so I can feel.
There's your shoes and your jacket and your belt. And your webbing, but none of your gear.
Ah, fuck. All right. And I mean, I'm not bleeding. I've cut myself open. I'm not bleeding, but I cut the wall open and the wall bleeds.
Yeah. And in the closet on the shelf, there's a little shelf above where the hangers are.
Yeah. Putting all my shit on. There's stuff that
There's like a folded piece of paper or something up there.
Okay, I grab it. I open it.
Okay. It's like a business card, only longer. It has a little logo on it. It says Hotel Downtown, and then there's a little there's something written on the card, which you will find in your Discord chat.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay. I got to go to the bathroom and I got to smash the mirror.
Okay.
I walk to the bathroom
Okay.
and I've got shoes on now, so I just kick the mirror in,
Okay. You like get up on the sink and kick the mirror.
smashing it with my foot.
Okay. Yeah, glass shatters and all over the place and goes crashing to the floor and all over the countertop.
And I take a piece of mirror and I like looking at myself in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I take another piece of mirror and I like cut my face while I'm looking at myself.
Yeah. It's like safety glass. It's kind of curvy feeling against the side of your face. It doesn't cut. That's a perfect in this rectangle or triangle of mirror to cut away to. Let's see who I have lost track. Who hasn't seen a business card yet?
Mubarak?
Just Mubarak at this point. Okay, we will cut back to Mubarak.
Yeah, the next thing I was going to do was just start running around the room, just opening every drawer, ripping up the bed sheets, just tearing the place apart.
Okay. So you're pulling things apart. You pull the drawer out of one of the side tables and like a business card comes tumbling out of it.
Mm-hmm. I pick it up.
Okay. And you can check your Discord and see what it says in there on this card. Little brown card with a logo that says Hotel Downtown on it.
Wow, that's a nice thing to write on a card.
Yeah. And what do you do after you see the card?
I stash it in my pocket. I'm not really ready to talk about this one yet.
Okay.
And you said the window had like metal blinds on it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, metal louvered blinds.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if could I take like a bed sheet and like put it in the slit and try to get it in and around so that I could make like a lever to just start yanking on the metal blinds?
Sure, you can give that a shot.
Okay. Would that be a roll of some sort?
No, I mean you go over there and you start stuffing it in there. It's really hard because it's very thin and the blind is inset, right? So there's like a channel and then there's a channel and then the blind fits down into the channel. So you're literally having to push it around a corner. It's very tight. And, as much as you work, you can't get a whole lot around there.
Okay, but like based off of that idea, is there anything near me that would like fit in that slot?
Not anything that you've seen. You're looking around. You notice that the desk has a drawer, a little thin pull-out drawer.
Yeah, I opened that earlier and it was empty, but I can open it again.
I thought you'd open the dresser drawer.
Oh,
not
okay.
the desk drawer.
I'm opening all the drawers.
Okay, so you slide that open, and inside you find three things. Four things. One, you find a piece of stationery that has the same logo on it, Hotel Downtown. You find a letter opener. You find an envelope also with the Hotel Downtown logo on it, where you would put a stamp normally.
Mm-hmm. Is the envelope sealed?
No, the envelope is unsealed.
Okay.
And then you see a skeleton key.
Interesting. I take the key. There's nothing to open with it at this moment, though, so I'll stash that away.
Make an intellect roll, difficulty 4.
So that's
that means
12.
You need a 12 or higher.
19.
19. Well, you went over and tried the door, and there was a keyhole underneath the doorknob.
Okay. I go right to the keyhole. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. You go over and put the key in and turn the key, and To your surprise, since this isn't a real door, right? Because you looked at it very closely, and it's, you know, it was clearly, you know, metal in the shape of a door. You see the door move slightly. Meanwhile, in all the other rooms, from the direction of the front door, you hear a metallic click.
I run over to the door in the hallway with the peephole in it, and I try to open it again.
Okay, it opens. It opens easily. You turn it, and it opens. What does everyone else do?
If I go out,
let's start with Gabriel.
I will sort of stand back a little bit and prepare myself for someone to enter after the click. And when no one comes, I'll move close to the door, listen for a moment, and then try to pull it open.
Okay, so you're standing there cautiously for a moment. Captain Soto, what about you?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Captain Soto moves away from the dresser drawer, and she correlates the fact that she just picked up the card with the door opening.
Absolutely.
All right, and she puts it back down. She picks it back up. Okay. Where's my flight suit? I look around the room.
I mean, you're wearing it.
Okay, it is fully on.
Yep.
I give a quick mental command, and my flight suit extends out, and the black safety suit it covers.
Hold off on that. Hold off on that a second, because we'll get to that in just a moment. All right, Mubarak, we know what you do. Albert. Albert/Lisa, what do you do when the click happens?
Great. So when last we saw me, I was standing. I'm covered in eyeball goo.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of eyeball goo, and at this point, kind of, I should be surprised, but I'm pretty much not. And I head to the bathroom for a towel. I walk over to the bathroom and figure I'll grab a towel and wipe this off and regroup. And as I close up my knife, my straight razor to put it in my pocket, I see the phone there on the floor again, and I grab it, reach down, pick it up. And Cynthia's been quiet for a little while. So I walk with the phone to the bathroom, yelling,
She
"Hey,
did break a
Cindy
window."
girl." What's that?
She did break a window or a mirror.
No, you did. I didn't.
She did as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I yell out, "Cindy girl, talk to me." And I walk over to the bathroom. "What are you doing, lady?"
Which Cynthia, you don't hear, because you've just walked out of the room.
Cool. But see, I don't know these things because I'm in the room by myself, right?
Right, now you don't hear anything. It's
all you
quiet.
heard was the click near the front door.
Oh, I did. Oh, that I'm confused. So my door clicked too.
Everybody's did.
Oh, sorry. I missed that memo. So my door is open?
No.
It's just a click, and others have opened their doors.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, then I changed my mind.
Okay, rewind that.
I am now still covered in goo and holding my straight razor.
Yes.
I am still going to safely close it up and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
For safekeeping. I hear the click and I walk over to the door.
Okay.
And I look out the peephole first.
You don't see anything at the people. I mean, you see the light on the wall. You
Cool.
see what you saw before.
So I reach down and turn the knob and I give the door a good shove.
And it pulls open, pulls inward.
And I stand there incredulously for a few minutes. Well,
Okay.
a moment.
Uh-huh.
Not sure what to, just not believing what's going. I yell
Okay.
for Cindy again. Hey, Cindy
All right,
lady.
all right. And from there, we will shift over to Dakota. Dakota, what do you do when you hear a click near the front door?
So I'm sitting there kneeling on the floor, in my pants and bare feet, holding this folded card in my hand. And I'm like, leaders are made, not born. Is that what this is, guys? You're making leaders here? Is that what this is all about? And then I hear the click. And I look over and probably it was Cynthia sort of like making for it. And I walk up and I step towards the door and try the doorknob. And
the doorknob turns and the door easily opens.
You motherfuckers. And I step out into the hallway.
Okay.
Business card still in hand.
As you step out into the hallway, you see that there are 5 other people stepping out into the hallway. Well, yes, there are 5 other people stepping out into the hallway. And Dakota, describe what people see when they look down the hallway and see you.
So you see a very average looking man, very average, very white man in his late 30s, wearing what looks like probably a J. Crew set of khakis and a t-shirt that he might have bought at Kohl's or in a 12-pack from Mervin's, and very just extraordinarily painfully average looking guy with sort of like slightly spiky, sleepily miskempt, short, sandy blonde, dark blonde hair, and holding what looks like a rather elongated, tent-fold business card in his hand. And when he sees, he goes, Cynthia?
Which is a good moment for Cynthia to enter and tell us what we see when we see Cynthia. What does Cynthia look like?
So I come out, I'm a middle-aged white woman. I kind of got a scowl on my face because I feel so much distrust. I put everything in my pocket. I've kind of got like cargo pants on and a shirt and combat-y boots. Right before this, I was working patrol, so I've got kind of like my private patrol outfit on. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I envision myself coming out of my door, and to my left is Dakota, to my right is Albert, and across the hall from me are the 3 other people that I've not ever spoken to.
That's correct.
Okay.
To your right is Albert. To your right is Dakota. To your left is Albert.
Copy. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in a moment where I don't want to give anything away. I want to read the situation. So
we just want to know what people see when they first lay eyes on Cynthia out in the hallway.
Copy. Stone cold, quiet in my patrol gear.
Okay. So wearing some sort of uniform, police, security, something like that.
Yeah, like a security, very there's not a lot of labeling.
Yeah.
Private security.
Okay. So she glances back and forth, and so like, to your right, you are looking at Albert. And what does Albert look like?
Albert's well, I'm about 6'3", white guy, square jaw, kind of like the Dick Tracy comics, wearing a fedora, well cut gabardine suit, nice quality, it speaks of somebody that's got a little money. It's not a handmade suit, mind you. It is still off the rack. So not the best, but a dapper guy, square jaw, real doffs his hat at the lady. You see his hair's all real creamed back.
There is a little bit of spatter on him, though.
Oh, and then there's the spatter. Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, thanks for helping me with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Covered in a light sousals of gore about the jawline and lapel.
Yeah. So breaking that picture of perfection just a little bit. There's some spatter here and there, green and fluidy and red. And not quite across the hall because the rooms are offset from each other. You see a gentleman wearing a bow tie. What does Gabriel Standish look like?
Gentleman wearing a bow tie. He looks. He's wearing sort of a wool suit. Generally very pretty well cropped and dapper. And he's looking very curiously at anyone who might be looking at him as he comes out through the door.
Okay. So looking up and down the hallway, at the other end of the hallway, across from Dakota, is Mubarak. Mubarak, what do people see when they get there, get a load of you?
He's like tall and lanky. He's dark skinned. He looks like a hipster sort of. He has like a pork pie hat and like black frame glasses and some like skinny jeans. And he's wearing like a t-shirt that says like Visions 2019 San Jose, a psychic convention or something like that. He's wearing like a t-shirt that he bought at a convention.
All right.
And he looks
cool.
he looks scared. He looks like he's having a really bad time.
Okay. And standing near him is Captain Soto. What do we see when we feast our eyes on Captain Soto?
Captain Soto gingerly makes her way to the door and kind of pokes out. Everyone sees the slender frame of the ethnically ambiguity that you can only have a century from now. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but she definitely has classically beautiful face, but there's like no makeup. She's about business. Her, like I said, her hair is up in her business bun, and she's like, okay, like this is a bit weird, and so she's really cautious as she moves out, and then everybody sees the slick black bodysuit that she has, which is kind of a onesie. And when she sees everybody, it goes from short sleeves and short and knee highs to like an instinctively like it comes out like as if her hair was standing on end. It just like grows out to her wrist and to her ankles, and she like gets into one of the trained combat positions that she knows when dealing with space pirates.
I freak out as soon as she starts doing like combat poses. I back the fuck up. Whoa, Captain, calm down there.
Okay, this dream is getting weirder and weirder and weirder, but it's okay. It's okay. This is just a dream. I'm very surprised that my ego is a slender black man, but I guess maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not that much, actually, when I think about it. And then I look over at Standish. I'm like, no, but I knew that's what my logic looked like for goddamn sure. And as I like look past Mubarak, like the other three are across from us directly or down the hall?
Yeah, they were on the other side of the hall. So you've all stepped out. You're all in the same hallway together, the six of you.
And and I kind of quickly make an assessment of the rabble in front of me and wait and anticipate.
Okay, and you can see down at one end the hallway ends again in another one of these windows that has the louvered metal blinds on it, and then the hallway in the opposite direction continues. You see an open, what looks like maybe a seating area, and some stairs that lead down.
I think about bolting, but then I also think it's probably a trap.
I look at Soto and say, Captain Soto, yes?
You're muted, Soto, you're muted.
Standish. Okay, you're my logic. That's making sense. I'm not sure what these three represent, but I think those stairs are probably my subconscious. And if I want to get out of this dream, I'm probably going to have to go deeper into the dream. So, all right, everybody, you all hear me. They all hear me. Okay. Captain Soto, you're going to be okay. You're going to go through your exercises, and you're gonna be on Pluto. Things are going to be normal again, and then we're going to go back to the PlayStation. And
Crazy pants. I'm not part of your dream. I'm part of my own dream. We all going to go down these stairs or what?
That sounds like what a dream would say, but that must be my adventurous side. Okay, adventurous side, let's do it.
Is Pluto
right,
smelly?
That is a perfect place for us to wrap up the part of this adventure. You've all met in the hallway, and next we will go down the stairs and see if we can discover part of Captain Soto's addled mind out down below.
Dakota will say, though, it's like, this isn't a dream. This is an experiment. That's what I mean.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fade to black on that.
That was awesome, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm still totally confused, so.
Really appreciate the time and effort put into that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the great storytelling.
It was a long time.
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, really, really well done, everybody. That opening section with everybody off by themselves can be tricky and tough to do, but a lot of really great role playing that made it work and made it interesting. Yeah.
It's been a long time since a GM made me do like a puzzle.
All right. Well, thank you so much, all the amazing people here tonight visiting our little town. Matt, of course, thank you so much, Mr. Steele, for running us through this scenario of your own design. And we will
look forward to part 2 tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Tomorrow. Sharp.
That's right, 7 p.m. And we look forward to it very much.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in. Spoiler, I go crazy.
We've got an out-of-control spaceman.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. All right, this has been Shadow Stories, Episode 1, Our Little Town. Here we are, visiting a small town that's full of psychological horror. What will happen in Part 2? You'll have to tune in tomorrow and find out. And we also have many other fun things going on with Midway Tabletop coming up during the afternoon. Tomorrow we have our stream discussion about the Eternium Road, our secrets revealed. We'll have cast and crew talking about what happened on Tuesday. And then this week, and then tomorrow night, of course, we'll have part 2 of Our Little Town. And then on Tuesday next week, episode 7 of Eternium Road, the Dungeons & Dragons game that we find out what's happening in Deeplington. Tonight we've had many amazing folks play for your pleasure in Our Little Town. Storyteller has been Matt Steele. Players were Fiona Rene, Devin Nelson, Lisa Hyde, Robert Strawder, Chris Hockabout, and Mark Johnson. And I'm Marty Kaplan, your executive producer for Midway Tabletop. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow.